All right. Hey, everyone. This is Rudy. It's February 13th. You know, I was watching my YouTube feed, and there was a guy by the name of Gabe Zalna, puts out news stories and stuff like that, and he brought up whether this was real or not. And I think it's real. I think that this is really going on in our world today. You guys might remember, I think it was back in 2008. You probably heard a story about a guy by the name of Vince Lee. I think he now goes by the name of Will Baker, but it's this gentleman here. He was on a bus up in Canada, and there was this man who had his earphones on, listening to music, and his name is Tim McLean, I believe. So Tim McLean is on the bus. He's a carnival worker, just trying to make a living, listening to his music, fell asleep on the bus, had his head up against the window. And this man, Vince Lee, takes out a large butcher knife, starts stabbing him, kills him in front of everybody. Everybody's running off the bus. This guy's like, what's that? Yeah, I'm getting to that. So he stabs him and kills him. Keep in mind he had his earphones on. He didn't even know what was going on. He cuts off his head. While all the people are looking on. If you read the Wikipedia, which I call Wickedpedia because they're always biased, it talks about Lee then, let me move this so you can actually see the sentence. Over here, it says, Lee then, after he killed him and cut off his head, went back to McLean's body and began severing other parts and consuming some of his victim's flesh. Okay, this is an article where it said that his... I believe his mother or some family member is objecting. You think they would object to Vince Lee being set free? It's like, oh, I don't think he should be set free. He killed my son with a butcher knife while he was sleeping on the bus, cut off his head, cut off other parts of his body, and ate his flesh. He was only 22 years old when he ended the life of Tim McLean. Okay? And now, not only is he being set free, but he's been absolutely discharged, which means that they're not even going to monitor him anymore. He's just as free as you and me. How about that? And yet we got Schaeffer Cox, who's never even been in a fist fight with anybody, who was set up by paid government informants that worked for Hell's Angels, all at the direction of Karen Loeffler, the Attorney General of Alaska, who wanted to make a name for herself along with Yvonne Lamouret and Stephen Scrocky and Joseph W. Bottini, who not only withhold exculpatory evidence, use manipulated witness testimony from pedophiles, who manipulate the courtroom to send innocent men to prison like Schaeffer Cox. We got men like Sean Thomas Stoller, who gets stoned and walks in somebody's house, never violently attacked anybody, serving 20 years in prison. This guy's out of prison in 9 years, and he murdered somebody with a butcher knife, cut off their head, and ate their body. There is something terribly, terribly, terribly wrong with the judicial system in the world. The legal system in America, the legal system in Canada. Absolutely horrific. Absolutely insane. The world that we live in. Oh.